Jeez. Nanu, nanu. Welcome to the Royal Gypsy Hood. My name is Rafa Mama. Coming to you live, center stage. Um, Doing my first live in like literally almost 2 years. Like dang. Dang good. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the astrology. I got my IG over here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the astrology. Happy solstice, everybody. Super excited. We have beautiful energy just kickstarting this season. And yeah. So I'm going to pull up the chart and then I'm going to do a tarot reading, tarot and oracle reading. And I'm going to do something new at the end, knowing where to look. So, yeah, I'm going to open this up and just randomly pick something, an inspiration, 108 inspirations, Doses of Inspiration by Light Watkins. My hubby. Not really. But beautiful spirit. Anyway, let me pull up this chart. We have a beautiful kite that is being formed in the cosmos as we speak. Okay, so there is this kite that's being formed. There's a water trine, so it's a large triangle, talent triangle, between the moon in Scorpio, the Neptune in Pisces, and Venus in Cancer. And with Venus at the apex of that large talent triangle. Then we have the small talent triangle that is being formed between the moon, Pisces, or Neptune, and Capricorn. So Pluto and Capricorn. That is kind of creating that tension to keep the stabilization, although Pluto kind of like destroys everything, right? But only for the sake of recreation. And so with this water energy, it's like, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling really in tune today. I'm feeling in tune today. I'm feeling the gentleness of the waters. And it's like this harmony that is being produced here along with this push for change. Okay. But with the healing waters, right? The change comes with more ease. It's like the calm after the storm. It's like when we become in tune with the things that we must become in alignment with, that are relating to our values, that are relating to our spirituality, that are relating to our deepest hidden feelings and desires and needs, and with the bonds that we have with ourselves and with others. And so that Capricornic energy just kind of grounds everything together. And yeah, so here's an example of how the energy manifested for me today. We have Pluto, right, Capricorn, opposing Venus in Cancer. Cancer represents home, and Pluto represents endings. Okay, so today I got my new applied for my new driver's license. And so it's beginning a new era of what I consider to be home. Is no longer the same as what it used to be. Okay, so it's like official, like Capricorn official. Like we filed the documentation with the government, okay? And so yeah. And and really, it's just another step of following my dreams. And so this sets off a new direction, a new path, all relating to um the things that I value, when it comes to home, um, and how I am intentionally nurturing um, my new path. And so, with that being said, there's also a small talent triangle that includes Aries, Chiron and Aries at the apex, dealing with our wounds. So the small talent triangle is where we're still developing. It doesn't, but it should be developing with more ease, not with, um, you know, hard work, discipline, and being regimented. But it's something that we're absorbing. It's something that we are becoming. And so we are becoming this healing, right? We are becoming more of who we are, being Aries, our identity. We're becoming more in tune with that. Um, and the sextiles with Chiron are between, again, more Capricornic energy, but Saturn is in Aquarius. Okay. And so there's this freedom loving energy that comes with that, but also setting boundaries between ourselves and others, the collective, and just naturally knowing what those are. I know in my past, it's like it's been hard for me to identify what my boundaries really are. And until the point when, what does can Aries do is anger blow up, right? Until the point where I'm like, wait a second, I'm triggered so far to the point that I am losing my shit. I'm reacting, put it that way. And so when it's stabilized with Saturn, it's like we've already identified these things. We already know what they are. We already know um, how to detach um, from even emotion, from our wounds, right? To implement healthy boundaries. And with Mercury and the North Node, really also not Mercury is the planet that's involved in the small talent triangle. However, with the North Node being 10 degrees away from Mercury, it still is developing the direction that we are going in life, like a purpose, a destiny point. It's all playing into effect, and Mercury's retrograde until tomorrow. And then we're still going to be in the shadow period, right? So we're still going to be developing our mind around this. And so, yeah, around our dualistic nature. For instance, here's an example. Somebody who I dealt with recently, who what can Mercury be is a trickster, right? And Gemini is duality, the dark and the light. And so between the lies, there was and the lies and the triggers, okay, and the lack of boundaries. I was in this confusion, internally, mentally, on how to deal with this, because a large part of me, I mean, this person deserved to get their ass beat. Okay. The fuckery was extreme. However, the other part of me, right, the more compassionate side of me, just felt sorry for them. And so I've been wrestling personally with this. Um, how do you respond? And so I have not responded, and I know that I need to, right? Because what does Capricorn do? It does not um, run away or hide or ghost people like Neptune might do. Capricorn deals with shit, addresses it. How other people handle it is not um, on you. But at the same time, we're learning how to naturally process the mind, what our boundaries are. um, Saturn, that will set us free, Aquarius, and keep us in integrity, Aries, with ourselves. Okay. And so that is the energy that's being set off. It's exposing, with the moon being in, um, why do I have these mental blocks where I like see it, but I can't say it out loud, in Scorpio, right? The moon being in Scorpio, it's delving deep into the depths of the reality of those hidden things, of stuff that needs to be exposed, not just with ourselves but with others. The trine that the moon is having with Neptune is just kind of, from the depths, from the deep, to exposing the unconscious, right, which is Neptunian energy. And with Venus being at the apex of that kite, we're nurturing our values, and with that being said, our needs as well. And those needs are relating to those things that have longevity, those things that are long lasting, Capricorn, and how we can move forward in the season, nurturing those things that truly matter. This is more than just surface level likes and dislikes, things that come and go, but the things that we're building on a generational level. I could say more, but honestly, okay, maybe I should touch on the fact that, um, hey, so I didn't even look at this. The sun is at 0 degrees Cancer, and it is trining Jupiter in Pisces. Okay, Jupiter is a benefactor. Jupiter is joy. Jupiter is abundance. Jupiter is luck. Jupiter is higher knowing. And so that is bringing that elusive, etheric energy into, from the unconscious to the surface. It's magnifying it. It's making it big, right? And it's illuminating it with the sun. Again, this is dealing with stuff that is home related. Um, and even travels, where do we want home to be? It might be time to move out of the country. And that is part of, the setup that I created today by officially changing my address with the government. Okay. So what is kind of impeding us at this moment, the square that we're dealing with between Saturn and Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus. We have to be willing to get out of our comfort zone. We have to be willing to, so for instance, this square is going right through the small talent triangle, right? Which includes, why did that stop? I don't know. Anyway, which includes, that integrity to self and healing old wounds, and so what comes with that is willing to shift the things that we have been rooted in and grounded in, and willing to get out of our comfort zone for the sake of change. So it's kind of like when you change your environment, then some things come to you so much more naturally, like when you're out in nature. The energy that you feel is so different, that helps you to take more action. You might end up wanting to be physical, kayak if you're in the water, for instance, or but you can't do that if you don't put yourself into the water, right? You look like a fool if you're on the ground trying to paddle your way through with the grass, okay? And so this is the challenge that we face in order to develop this talent or this gift, or this new shift that we're being called to at this moment. And with Mars being in Leo, it's also sextiling Mercury, and it's sextiling actually the North Node. But to me, they're close enough that, and they're both in the same sign of Gemini, so it's that mercurial energy. And so it's like shifting our mind, right, to actually again, following through with the integrity, right? Mars is being involved there, but through the heart, not being led through our wounds, not being led through our past, but through the heart into where we're leading ourselves, propelling ourselves forward. And so that takes creativity, that takes generosity, that takes courage, that takes a willingness to see both sides of the picture and still envelop all of it with love. And so we have to be careful that our egos are not triggered, because I know mine has been on so many levels. So, yeah, I'll leave that as is for now. And I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards to get a message. I'm going to shift my screen. Thank you, Spirit, for giving us more insight and guidance and clarity on this new season, on this beautiful day, on this harmonious day. And we thank you for the energies that are present to help us to adapt and to set us up for greatness and for goodness. the Six of Wands, okay? That is that Leo energy. It's Jupiter in Leo. And so the Six of Wands is referring to victory, again, moving forward, celebration, and being celebrated. So not just celebrating yourself, but being celebrated. Interestingly enough, it's a 6, and Mars is at 6 degrees of Leo. Then the Seven of Wands. So what have we been talking about, right? Boundaries and principles. And so it's blending that energy, that Mars in Leo. It talks about standing your ground, being strong, having courage, and not being moved on the things that matter the most. And yet we are still having this joyous energy. It's not in conflict mode that we are standing our ground, but in this new knowing and in this new strength of who we are and who we are developing to be. The Hierophant is in reverse, okay? And so the Hierophant in reverse talks about, that's Taurus energy. And we have Uranus in Taurus, and so it's the shifting. It's the, the old things that we believed, the values that we had, that were passed down to us, that were given, whether it's religion, the Hierophant definitely represents that, whether it's through marriage, and some of the changes that need to happen. But he has his eyes open, even in the hands, having sensitivity to see and to receive and to know. The Five of Swords now. It's in reverse. And that's Venus in Aquarius. One second. Okay. And then the Ace of Pentacles. Sorry about the bad quality video here. I'm just happy to be doing one. Okay, so the two upside down cards go together. And this has a lot to do with the things that we have to let go of. The mental angst that pulls us back to our old wounds and our old ways and our old beliefs. We have to develop something new. You have to be willing to allow a new thing to be birthed. Which is very much so in alignment also with the Cancerian energy. So nurturing the newness, nurturing the love. And with that, in order to nurture like a new baby, right, we have to go through the phases of, you are what you eat. And so, you know, like a baby that goes from the milk to the you know, like the puree, and then finally eat solids. We have to be willing and to try new things. And with this excitement, you know, without the hesitation, but just in knowing what the objective is and knowing that we can't go back to the old ways of being. Stuck in the mud. Okay. What was I saying? Getting out of that quicksand that keeps our feet locked in. In the moonlight, processing through your feelings, but not to stay stuck in them. The things that worry us, the things that cause fear, the things that break our heart, even. You know, it's like processing through those, but acceptance is sure to help us to move forward. And the bone collector. So this card, I love this card. This card, you know, you've got a clock in there. You've got the peacock feather. You've got the bones that are hanging. And you've got this beautiful ancient spirit that's glowing from the crown and has like this ring of fire around her and the most beautiful smile. There's also a rabbit in there that is gentle. But we've taken these lessons of the past and we're no longer allowing them to inhibit us. But we're taking those lessons and we are allowing them to serve us moving forward. Okay? Then we have the I am cards. Peace. I see you. I am here. Okay, so just take it one day at a time. We don't have to fret about the future, the things that are unknown to us. Again, the things that worry us. We don't have to have concerns that the things of the past are going to carry into our future if we just take one day at a time as a present and live here in the moment. And allow time to do its thing, right? Because that clock is also here. I am. Okay. And that's in reverse. And so it's okay if there's parts of you that you haven't developed fully yet. It's a process. And you have to allow yourself the space to grow and to actually walk in your fullness. I am shadow. Gemini energy. So again, talking about processing through that. And I am heart. It's in reverse. And so we have to honor all of it. but then we have to lead with our heart. All right. Now, A Dose of Inspiration by Light Watkins, Knowing Where to Look. Wow. I'm going to read both of these because this is like so in tune. The Power to Heal. The sage was walking past a village one day and was beckoned by a woman to help a sick child nearby. As the concerned sage approached, a crowd gathered around, for such a man was a rare sight. The sage began to pray over the sick child. Do you really think your prayer will help when medicine has failed? Barked a skeptic from the crowd. You know nothing of such things, replied the sage to the man. You're just an ugly, stupid idiot. The man's face grew red hot at these words. He was about to lash out when the sage came over to him and said calmly, if one sentence has the power to make you so angry, might not a prayer have the power to heal? And thus the sage healed 2 people that day. Treat your words as the mighty instrument they are, to heal, to bring into being, to nurture, to cherish, to bless, to forgive. Eeh! It's a good lesson. The gratitude conversation. So I love how it's written in the form of a pill to swallow, right? Telling a loved one who worries a lot to stop worrying is like telling them to stop being hungry. It doesn't work like that, and it may cause them to worry even more. If you genuinely want to help someone calm down, when the time is right, try asking them this question. What are you grateful for in this moment? If they don't have an answer, say, well, I'm grateful for this about you, and tell them something specific that you genuinely appreciate about them. Worrying comes from a fear of the future, whereas gratitude leads us back to the present moment. So, in a way, this type of gratitude conversation can be a solution for connection and for helping someone to calm their nerves without ever having to tell them to calm down. I love that. I'm going to put that in there. Okay, so thank you for watching, and thank you for spending time with me. And I pray that you are really basking in this healing water energy that has been presented to us today as the sun has moved into Cancer, and with the water trine and the kite that is in the cosmos at this very moment. It's super special. And so it's important, maybe get into your ritual work. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that tonight. And with that being said, nanu nanu, and peace be unto you. If you would like a personal reading, definitely hit me up at rafahouse.com, info@rafahouse.com. Follow me on my IG at Rafa Mantra, and I look forward to interacting. Peace.